Welcome back, Certain Fitness Gang.
Hey everyone, we're going to be doing a 3-part series on motivation itself and different ways that you can motivate yourself, or different reasons why you would want to go through an exercise program, or just working on your health and fitness goals. And the first one we're going to talk about is self-image.
Today, Ian and I are going to have a little conversation discussing self-image, how that relates to fitness, how it forms our relationship with fitness. He's going to kind of guide us through that. But before we start, I want to kind of give an advanced warning that this is a very emotional subject. We're going to do our best to keep the discussion very general. We're going to keep it as light as possible. We're not going to talk about very specific things related to self-image, but just know that we do care, and that we know that this is a very difficult subject matter for some people. So, with that being said, Ian, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
This one is kind of a two-edged sword with it. It can be a great motivator, but it can also be a detractor from exercise. As far as an actual motivator, self-image is a big one that a lot of people think about. A lot of it is just confidence. People want to be more confident with how they look, how they feel. The saying goes, if you look good, you feel good. And that's kind of what a lot of people look at when they're thinking about self-image. When we're talking about starting exercise, it's a big motivator for a lot of people in general. As far as a detractor goes, it's one of the, in my opinion, it's one of the reasons that a lot of people don't like going to a gym in general. They're kind of embarrassed about what they look like, or they don't feel comfortable being around all these other people who look good and are very in shape. But what people need to remember is all these people, they didn't start looking like they do for the most part. Everybody has their own fitness journey. We saw Jody's a couple episodes ago, and we're all in this path. We're all on this journey together. Not many people in the gym are going to give you a hard time about what you look like going into the gym. A lot of people in there, they're actually cheering for you, and they want to see you improve. It's not just you against the world. It's everybody. You've got everybody behind you at the gym. They want to see you succeed as much as you want to succeed.
Well, we're discussing self-image, how it forms our relationship with fitness, how it kind of guides us down our fitness journey usually. I want to discuss a former client that I had, and this is going back several years. I used to do fitness boot camps with a few groups, and I would do them at a local park. One time I saw a gentleman kind of watching us, and afterwards I approached him and said, hey, would you like to join in with our group sometime? And he said, oh, no, that's not for me. I just come to the park to walk and basically get out and get some air. But I saw him a few more times after that, and he came back up and approached me one day after one of the sessions. He inquired about one-on-one training, and at the time I was only doing group training. So I told him that he would basically have to swallow the cost of the entire group if he wanted to do individual training. And he said that was fine. He just didn't want to work out with a group. He preferred to work out one-on-one. He told me that his fitness, past was non-existent. As a matter of fact, his mother used to sign papers saying that he didn't have to go to gym class, and this was a gentleman that was in his early 30s at the time. So we discussed a little bit more about what he's done in the past, kind of what his tastes were about fitness, and he said that he couldn't do a push-up, he didn't even know what a squat was, that he was basically starting from ground zero. So we started working together. I actually went to his house and we worked out in his backyard or in his garage, depending on what the weather was. And he started making pretty decent progress. And I never really asked him, the background story of why he didn't go to gym class or why he didn't pursue fitness. It was none of my business. He was happy, he was making changes, everything was going pretty well. And then one day he brought it up himself. He said, I can kind of tell that you're interested in, how a guy that's in his 30s has never exercised a day in his life. And he basically just said, I'm still walking around with baby fat. How does that happen? So I said, yeah, if you want to, share that story with me, that's fine. And then he dropped a bomb on me, basically. It felt like somebody dropped a ton of bricks on my chest. He said he had a terminal illness, and basically he was exercising because he didn't want his obituary page to be of a fat slob. Those are his exact words. So he didn't exercise his entire life because he was so wrapped up in his physical image, and he was so ashamed of himself that he didn't allow himself to change. He went through his whole life viewing himself as a fat slob, somebody that couldn't exercise at all. And the only thing that got him to overcome that was a terminal illness, just because he didn't want to be viewed as a fat ass after he died. Give me a moment. So we continued to work out together, and after about a month or two, he said that he wanted to continue on his own, and if I could help him, just make a workout prescription for him to help him kind of do this on his own. And then he admitted that he didn't want to make any new friendships that weren't going to last very long, because he didn't have very much time left. So I said okay, and kind of just swallowed the emotion, shook his hand, and said, you know, if you need any help, just call me. Here's 3 months worth of workout plans, and I wished him luck. And I never talked to him after that, and I purposely didn't seek out to see what happened or if he had passed or anything. But yeah, that's a story I don't share very often, as you can tell. I mean, it was difficult to get through, but I realized what self-image, the power that it has over people, and the things it makes us do or not do in that case.
And that moves us back to the why you're exercising, why you made the goals that you wanted to make, whether it's because somebody told you should, or you want to feel better, you want to move better, something like that, and how we're going to adjust or create your exercise program to accommodate your goals. We want to, again, we're just trying to do what's best for you, whether that's helping you lose weight or helping you improve your self-image in general. We're here for you, and we just want to help you guys achieve your goals and making sure that it's something realistic as well.
And when we set those goals, we always want to ask ourselves why, multiple times. When we're setting our goals, always ask why. Why is this important to me? Why is this worth the effort? Why do I want to make this change? And not only the why of that change, but what do you want to change specifically? What is it about you that you want to change? Why is that important? And as you have that discussion with yourself, you'll kind of learn a little bit about what it is that you're wanting to change. Is it something physical? Is it something outwardly that you want to change? And if so, hey, by all means, let's get that fitness journey started. But you may realize that it could be something like Ian had said, confidence. It could be something along those lines. Either way, it's always good to have that self-dialogue and really understand what it is that you're wanting to change before you start down that journey. Because one of the worst things that could happen is, as you get further and further into your fitness journey, you realize that yes, physically you're changing, mentally your approach to fitness may be changing, but the thing that started this whole journey may not be changing. As you get closer to your physical goals, that may not be enough.
Moving on into what you could look like versus what you should look like. In my opinion, what you should look like is more medical based, whether that's your BMI drops or you lose you're trying to lose X percentage of body fat, something like that. And what you could look like is more body aesthetics. I want to gain muscle mass. I want to have bigger arms, something like that. Not necessarily something that needs to happen, but what you want to happen.
While we're talking about the could versus should, I also want to point out that the should, I'm working out because this is how I should look, can be a kind of a dangerous road to go down. Like Ian said, it's a positive motivator. It can be. It can also be a deterrent and a dangerous motivator as well. It can set these unreal expectations of what we should look like. Well, I currently look like this, whatever that may be, but I should look like whatever it is. These convoluted ideas of what we should look like as a person, that we somehow don't look normal, that we don't live up to these ideas of what our body type, what our size, what our shape should be. And that can lead you down a very dangerous path. Chasing numbers, chasing this idea of what you should look like, it's kind of a dangerous road, again, to lead yourself down. It's much better to think about how I could look. I am doing this because I want to be the best me I can be. I don't want to be somebody else. I don't want to live up to the standards that somebody else has set that they believe I should look like. You always want to start off with a healthy, positive relationship with this change. And then as that starts to happen, it's only positive from there. So as always, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. As we always do, if you have not subscribed yet, please help us out and hit that subscribe button. Leave a like if this is a topic that you would like to see more of. And if there's any more questions that you have over this topic, specifically of self-image, that you would like to see us discuss, please leave them down in the comments. If you would prefer us to DM you or just send you a private message that you don't want us to cover as a video, put that in the comments as well, or just shoot us a private message. That's fine as well. And until next time,